I'm Deborah, I'm a Sun columnist. I also have stage 4 bowel cancer, and I'm really passionate about changing the conversation around women's health because it has affected me personally. I think that we need to change the language that we use and the conversations that we have around gynae cancers. I think that there is a taboo that we currently have that we don't need to have when it comes to talking about all things vaginas, vulvas. We are women and we all have them, so let's talk about them and demystify the kind of private elements of those cancers, because ultimately I think if we can demystify them and we can talk about them in a regular way, then actually we can raise awareness to know what's normal and what's normal for all of us. Sitting here as somebody who has bowel cancer, I think there are a lot of similarities between bowel cancer and gynae cancers. And I think it's our inability to talk normally, whether that is about our vagina and what's normal in our vagina, and about our poo and what's normal when it comes to pooing. And I think actually one of the biggest things that I regret not knowing was actually what is normal. We should all be able to feel comfortable to have regular conversations with our friends, to be able to walk into a GP surgery and not feel embarrassed to discuss what is going on in our pelvic region, anything related to our gynecological area, or even our bowel habits. And we need to be able to talk openly about that. I regret not speaking sooner about my symptoms. And I'm a really open person. I'm somebody that doesn't shy away from talking very bluntly about things. And yet I was embarrassed to actually go and be honest about what was going on in my body. And if I'm embarrassed, then I think a lot of other women might be in that situation. I think there's an element where, in terms of normalising conversation for let's focus on our children and in society and generally, I think we can all play a role. I think parents, we need to start using the correct language with our children. You know, use the word vagina, because let's face it, that's what it is. And you know, make sure that our girls are not embarrassed to use that word, and our boys for that matter. And then secondly, actually in schools, I think that we can have more conversations in our schools. I'm a teacher. I was a deputy head teacher in a secondary school for 15 years. And I think we do have some great conversations in certain subjects, but I do think that we could do a lot more when it comes to taking away that fear of embarrassment. I want to get lippy about ensuring that we break down taboos when it comes to talking all things gynae and all things people might currently get a little bit squirmy and a little bit embarrassed about. Because ultimately, if we can break down those taboos, we can save lives. And we can save lives by normalising the conversation that we have around making sure that we use the right language, making sure we know the symptoms. Do we know what is normal and not normal when it comes to looking for all things related to gynae cancers? And actually by doing so, we can therefore ensure that more and more people get diagnosed at an earlier stage.